I'm Dr. Andrew Allen from Georgia College and State University, and that was the symphonic band Lyrical Tenor Etude. So this is a bit more technical than lyrical etudes tend to be. You don't have a lot of opportunity for vibrato. You definitely have lots of opportunity for shaping lines and playing with a beautiful sound. So I do want you to prioritize that throughout. But we're talking a little bit more about technique than we normally would be in one of these lyrical etudes. Probably the biggest challenge in this etude are all of the leaps that start in measure 2. So that's difficult to do on saxophone under a slur. So what I would counsel is the judicious use of very light legato articulations to help through especially the downward leaps. The goal is you're not making a big deal about it. It's what almost everyone does. We can still be very, very legato as we go. Just think of di, do, whatever works for your articulation, but something along those lines. That's really going to help make sure that you're not smearing pitches throughout. One other idea in this that's going to help with technique. In measure 3, in the second beat, we have quite an awkward transition, a D sharp, an E to an A sharp. No matter how you slice it, that could be a little complex to get the transition from the E to the A sharp effectively. So what I would recommend, I would do normal D sharp, front E. So it's octave key, the front bar above your B key. Some of you may have a front button, and then 2, 3. It may take you a while to get there, but that's going to make a much easier transition. And then all you have to do is slide down to a side A sharp. So remember, side A sharp, 1, 2, octave key in this case, and that lowest side key. So front E to side A sharp. It may take a little additional work. It's going to be a much smoother transition in the long haul. Now, listen as I perform the technical etude. That was the technical etude. So we have quite a bit of active technique in a very small package here. So my first piece of advice is make sure that you're working with a metronome through the entire process of learning this etude. Make sure that you're starting very, very slow, slow enough where your fingers are pretty happy and comfortable, and you're slowly building up, and you're working in small chunks. That's going to ensure that your muscle memory, that little back part of your brain that remembers physical motions, is much more comfortable with this. If you don't know how to work with your metronome super effectively, talk to your band director about it, or shoot me an email. Always happy to help with that. A few ideas throughout. Number 1, you need to make sure that your airstream is completely consistent through each phrase. If you start pulling your punches with your air or letting up, technique's going to be way harder. All I want you to do is imagine that you're just blowing whole notes, move your fingers in time. When you have the beginning of a legato section, think do for your articulation, and when you have a staccato, think did. And I would actually spend some time just blowing and articulating do and do without the horn, getting used to that. That's going to make this technique way easier for you, I promise. Also, we have a few accents throughout. Remember that tonguing harder does not make an accent, right? A little air pulse up in an otherwise steady stream of air is going to make the accent. If that's a new concept for you, say ho, 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 ho. It's a constant stream of air, but your abdominal muscles are pulsing. Try that back and forth on the horn, refine it, and you're going to like that result. Then we just use a nice little legato tongue to help shape that accent. But the accent itself, coming from the pulse in the airstream. A couple other ideas in regard to technique. Measure 5, that's pretty intense. You're going all these little phraselets across the range of the horn, across different registers. You may want to think about a little mini crescendo up through that line. That's going to help unify your airstream, give you the power you need to ride through all those little different nooks and crannies of the horn. Measure 8, I would do the same thing, especially through the downward leap. And again, there, it's okay to use a very, very light tongue. So just a few ideas for you there that I hope have been helpful. I certainly hope that through this whole process, you are thinking about growth as a musician and saxophonist first and foremost, because that's what this is really about. I am absolutely happy to answer any questions that you have anytime. Just reach out. But until then, happy practicing.